Axiom 105 stiff, Axiom 105X. How much do they differ and separate in data and ball flight? I'm going to hit both of these shafts on a Srixon ZX4 on 2 degrees flat. That's because I hit the ball left quite easily. With the flatter setting, I get that ball flight push to the right hand side a little bit for me. Let's give them a whack and see what they do. Now both of these shafts are spine aligned. I haven't just put the writing on the underneath. I've looked at how the shaft bends, where it bends the easiest, put that bend profile in a certain way so they're both in the same orientation in terms of the engineered build of the club. Not a normal thing that you get at retail, but I'm a club builder and I trust it 100%. That just feels so good. 105 stiff, I love it. So the 105X feels a bit more rigid. It doesn't feel like it's got as much wobble, which it would because it's stiffer. With the 125X, so heavier one, I feel like you have to work quite hard for it, and it's not necessary because the 105 stiff is stable enough for a 120, 130X steel shaft golfer, in my opinion. Well, that does feel very nice. I'm having to work just a little bit harder to get it to move. Just a little bit. Boink. Straight the pin again. Main thing I'm really looking for between these two shafts is, does the launch angle change? Does the spin rate change? Does the peak height change? So I've mishit that off the toe and I've got a little bit releasey on it. And I'm just off the fringe. But it feels like I can get through that without holding back, which is very nice. If I absolutely step on one, it keeps up. Nice. If I swing one a little bit easy, so say there's a day where I just want to swing calmer or want to hit a half shot, I don't quite want to fully commit to it, which generally speaking I don't like. But say I want to like punch one out under a tree or something, can I do that? Yeah, I can, even though I missed the target quite a lot. So I'm going to take that last shot away. I'm going to take the last two away from the data because I wasn't doing my normal swing. Let's just hit a few more 105 stiffs. 105 stiff going back in. Doesn't feel as hard. Feels just that little bit easier, which is expected because it's a softer flex. The flight still looks nice and strong and powerful. Yeah, I'm not missing anything there. 105 stiff, 105X. Feeling wise, I don't feel like I'm losing anything going one or another. Without looking at the data, I'd kind of like put it towards, do I swing easy or do I swing hard? If you swing hard, you might get a little bit more reaction from the shaft and the X will just take the edge off that. If you swing smooth, the stiff's just easier to swing smooth and deliver. If I want to swing the 105X easy, it's not too bad. If I want to chase the 105 stiff, go for it. It's still behaving itself. Yeah, they both feel good. What does the data say? Oh, here we go. 105X peak height 103, 105 stiff peak height 110. So the stiff's just got a slightly higher peak height, the 105X just a little bit lower, but it's lower with lower spin as well. Ah, this is separated more than I thought it would. So I did ignore that full out and half swing as well from the 105X. So for me, the 105 stiff has got a smaller dispersion ring, the 105X has got a little bit more spread. I'm launching it exactly the same with both. I'm a little bit slower on the 105X, I haven't got as much speed with it, okay. Same launch, lower spin, lower peak height like we saw a second ago. Very similar carries, so the 105 stiff just a little bit healthier and easier for me. 105X, if you need to bring the ball flight down because you get it up in the clouds, 105X is going to do that. As always with Velocore shafts, the driver shafts, the blue, the red, the black, with iron shafts, 75 stiff, 105 stiff, 105X, and going into the 125X as well, it by and large does what it says on the tin, which is why they're so impressive to me. I really, really like them as shafts. They do cost more money, but I think it's worth the extra punt. Routinely, I get different peak heights. Routinely, I get slightly different directions. If I go in for a fitting and someone's swing isn't as consistent, I still get those differences in the shafts. I still get what I should expect on the tin. Sometimes with other shafts, there's an anomaly. There's the odd person that just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Their swing delivers into the ball differently and we just don't get what I expected. But with the Axiom, I get what I expect pretty much every time, or at least a lot more than I do with other shafts. Lower peak height, lower spin with the 105X compared to the 105 stiff. I like the stiff still because it's just a bit more, because it's just a bit easier to work both ways. It's just a bit easier to get through the ball. What could be a good idea is to go like 105X in like your wedges, for example, so you get a little bit more solidity there so they don't vary as much. Or even if you're going to go 105X, maybe go 105 stiff on your longest iron just to make that little bit easier, a little bit freer to get through the ball, because at the top end it is a little bit harder to work. Split sets in the iron shafts aren't a bad idea at all, but stay tuned, there'll be more to come, and I'll see you on the next video.